Hey guys.
Don, one game into your coaching career, probably not the result you're after, but how do you sum it up?
Oh, it's disappointing. I mean, we prepared and we planned and came here playing to win, and so to not win was disappointing on the night. Thought we had control of the game for periods, but ultimately at the end of it we didn't take opportunities.
Where did you see the game turning in that third quarter, Don?
Yeah, we sort of lost a bit of control around the contest, and from there they were able to start get the ball in their half, and and then they got a bit of a run on for a little period of time. There were probably 4 goals in a row, I think it was, and to our guys' credit, they kept coming back. I thought towards the end of the third quarter we got back a bit of control of the game, so no, it was just disappointing on the night.
Do you feel like you finished as fresh as them physically?
I'd have to go back and have a look at it. Look, obviously the rotations, it's going to take a little period to adapt to. But I sensed that in the last quarter we had a fair balance of play, and certainly the ball was down our end a bit. We probably just couldn't quite finish our work, but also couldn't quite just connect as we needed to, and they were able to transition the ball to the other end, which created a couple of their scores. But I felt like we were going okay in the last quarter. I didn't feel like we were out of the realm with how they were running against the opposition.
So, I mean, you controlled probably the bulk of the game, but you were never able to sort of quite get far enough ahead to really put them back in their place. They always just had a sniff, didn't they?
Well, they're always around the mark. They're a good side. I mean, they're a seasoned side. But as I said, we came here with a mission and we didn't achieve it.
Don, the fact especially in the first half, when you looked like you were about to get a more significant break, was it moving the ball into attack, or was it your system in attack, do you think, that was the problem?
I'd have to probably go and have a look at it in a bit more detail. Probably at times it was our last, if you like, our last entry, our last kick, which is, as people would know, it's probably one of the most important kicks in footy. It's the one that sort of sets you up. That said, I thought our second quarter was really strong. So we put ourselves in a really good position at half time, and unfortunately our third quarter wasn't to the level we wanted to play.
What did you make of the Jacobs-Goldstein duel?
It was a good battle all night. I think they were pretty even in terms of hit-outs and so forth. Probably towards the end, Goldstein took a couple of marks, which can happen in a game. But both high-quality ruckmen, so it was a good battle.
Do you think Matt Crouch took a step forward in being the player he can be for 20 weeks of this year?
Yeah, look, he's continuing to grow and to build. He's a guy who's has come on the scene, probably last year in the main, and he's had a really great pre-season. He's worked really hard on his game, and he's starting to reap some of those benefits, which is terrific to see.
What do you think of Josh's game?
Josh Jenkins? Yeah, well, obviously he kicked the 5. And he's a clear target for us down there, which is great. He did some handy things in the ruck as well.
John, the 104, 85 against has been a talking point, that premiership scoring window. Failed on both accounts. We'll give you the 4, only 3 points in it, but what does it say about where you're at in terms of points conceded?
Well, look, it's for us, it's the first step. I said last week that we were, off the NAB Challenge series, we come into round 1, and we've learnt some things tonight, some areas we've got to keep working away on. But there's a lot to like about tonight as well with our guys. I saw some really positive signs in the way we move the ball and we attack the game, and we'll tighten those other areas up as we go. But as I said, it's the first step against a good opposition, and we now prepare and get ready for next week.
9 or 10 different goal scorers, that must be one of the positives that you'll be taking away.
Yeah, we certainly, and certainly the way it works with the rotations now, we need to make sure our mids are capable of playing forward, and some of the guys were able to go forward and hit the scoreboard, so that was pleasing.
Alternately, I might be wrong here, but Eddie Betts seemed to sort of be working further up the ground tonight. Like, is that part of the deal as well, that the small forwards might play up the ground a bit more too?
Yeah, we need that flexibility with the group. I think you'll find most teams will be using most of their smaller forwards playing up the ground. We used Eddie and Burst tonight higher up the ground. But it does 2 things really. It allows him to use some of his running and energy around the ball, which is great for us. And it also allows some of our mids to play a bit forward. So, it's good to be able to get him up around the ball. He brings something different to us.
Were you surprised, Don, that North didn't play Lockie Hansen? It seemed like Josh Jenkins had quite a height advantage over Ferrito at stages there.
Look, North's selection's up to North. I mean, at the end of the day, they've won the game, and they're probably happy with how they selected.
Team defence is obviously the huge part of it these days, Don, but Where did the high scoring against come from? Did you lose it in the midfield of the inside work and it sort of flowed on to the defenders, or did the defenders come up short in that sense? Or
I think it was whole. I mean, look, again, I'd have to go back through the game in detail, but it looked on the surface like we conceded some score from stoppage, and we conceded some on the turnover, and I thought some of our work, especially later in the game, was really good in terms of slowing them down out of the back half. So again, we'll assess that. It's hard when you're talking about it was 50 odd inside 50s where they came from and how they went. But we'll have a look at that and see overall. But overall, I was pleased with our team defence. It's got to get better. We understand that, but this is the first step in where we're headed.
Pretty high standard game for round one, wasn't it? I mean, if you play like that most weeks, you'll win a lot more than you lose, I would have thought.
Yeah, look, it was a good game. There wasn't much separated the teams all night. And yeah, look, as I said, there's a lot of positives for us to take away. The disappointing part is we came here to win, and we didn't. So we accept that we've done some things really well, and we've got some areas we've got to keep working on, and we'll do that, and we'll get better. I'd say hard to judge, to be honest. In certain areas, yeah, we're not miles off. But as I said, we've got a really engaged group who are keen to keep learning about how we're going to play, and it's the first step.
There's been a lot of talk about how tough the early part of the draw is for you too. Do you come out of this feeling any more comfortable about what the next few weeks might hold for you, or is it a kick in the guts?
I wouldn't say it's a kick in the guts. It's disappointing, but as I said, we take some positives from it. I was really pleased with the attitude and the effort of the players today. That wasn't questioned at all. Look, we made some errors. We did some things which we can improve on, and we will. But from a draw viewpoint, we look no further forward than Port next week. That's the next challenge. It's right in front of us come next Saturday, and we'll recover, we'll prepare, and we'll get ready to go again. Thanks guys.